Everyone, it's Vivian. Welcome to my latest episode on my 12 cast-ons for 2022. Welcome to everyone who's come back to view the next episode, and welcome to anyone who's new to my channel. My name is Vivian. I live on the Essex-Suffolk border with my husband Sean and our cat Bonnie. And these videos are just to show you the monthly progress that I've been working on my 12 cast-ons for 2022. So for anybody who is not familiar with the 12 cast-ons for 2022, the lovely Angela of Yarn and Yarns podcast, she does a 12 cast-ons over the 12 days of Christmas. So from the 24th of December, and this year it ran right up to the 31st of January. And you could cast on 12 projects, you could cast on one project, but the idea is just to work on them throughout the year. And I took part this year, and I've cast on 12 projects, and each month I'm just showing you the progress that I've made on them. So before I start going into the actual content, if you want to follow me on social media, I'm active on Instagram, and I will post down in the description box below the links where you can find me. So last month, so February, I rolled the dice and it gave me 4 projects to work on for the month of February. They were my charity hats, they were my Radiate jumper, sweater, they were Sean's socks, and the other one was, what was the other one? I've forgotten. Oh, my crochet squares. So I'm going to show you the progress of what I've been working on with those. And I've also worked on a couple of other things as well as we've been going on. So the first one that it gave me was my charity hats. So I aim to knit 12 charity hats throughout this year to gift at the end of the year. I did a cable hat in January, and in February I had a 2x2 rib hat to do, and I finished it. So this is it here. So I'm just using scraps of yarn left over. These are both, I think these are both the Starcraft special DK, and I just literally doing 2x2 rib, and I'm doing an inch and a half, and then changing colour. I did think I was going to run out of the burgundy at one point, but I did find another ball, so that was really handy. So I have finished the hat for February, and because I found the other ball and I had plenty of the grey left over, I've now started another one for March. So I finished that one, I would say mid-February. So I just cast on and started doing this one. And this one's really good because what I like about this is if you just want an easy knit where you're not having to pay much attention to what's going on, 2x2 rib is great for that. And the only thing I have to do is remember to change yarns every so often. So that was my first project that it gave me to do. The other projects that I had, one of them was like my crochet squares. So to explain a little bit about that, I belong to a lovely knitting group that I go to on a Monday afternoon in one of the local villages near here. And we are knitting, well, no, we're not, well, we're knitting and we're crocheting. So it's either knitting or crocheting squares that will be going into a blanket to gift to a like care home that are near to us. So last time I saw you, I think I'd done about 4. Well, as you can see, I have a pile. I have 15 that I've done so far for February. I have some that I've done in multicoloured. I have some plain colours. So I was just using up scraps, which is why some of them have got more. But there's 15 in there in total. And obviously I will just continue to do some more. These are great to do when I actually go to club on a Monday afternoon. I can just sit there and crochet a couple each time. So I'm really pleased with the progress that I've made in there. And I've even darned in all my ends. So the ladies will be pleased. So that was my second project that the dice chose for February. My third project was my Radiate sweater. Now this one I was really happy to work on because I would like to get it finished, and I've done really well with it. I've been very pleased with what I've done with it. So as you can see, the Radiate sweater is a sweater by Holy Locatelli. I'll show you a picture of it there. And takes in 2 colours, and you start with one colour and then bring in the second colour. So this is, I think when I spoke to you last time, I had done the top bit and I was just starting to bring in the navy blue. But as you can see, I've done that and I've split for the sleeves, and I've now done almost one sleeve. I'm just putting the ribbon on that sleeve. Then I will pick up the sleeve here and do the second sleeve, and then I'll finish off the body. And the reason I do it that way is that I find it much easier not to have the whole body sat on me when I'm trying to do the sleeve and you're turning backwards and forwards. It's much lighter to have that. And also I can tell then once I've done the sleeves how much yarn I've got left, so I can decide if I want to make it a cropped jumper or a longer jumper, or maybe get down to the bottom and do a split hem so that I've got it slightly longer at the back or at the front. It just gives me those options by doing the sleeves first. So the yarn that I'm using for this one, the top colour, which is this one, is called Mystic Narwhal, and it's by Cast Yarns, but unfortunately Saz no longer dyes yarn. But as you can see, I've bought it in and it's coming beautifully with the blue. And the blue is from Starcraft, and it is, and I always pronounce this wrong so I should get the ticket, Starcraft Life Decay. Now this has a mixture of acrylic and wool, which is why I find it easy to work with, because anything that is acrylic, when I wear it, the static that comes off me is unbelievable. I could power the national grid basically. So I always have something that's got a bit of a wool content in it, purely because I find that the static isn't so bad. So that's my Radiate sweater. And like I say, I'm really enjoying that. Now that I'm on like just stockinette knitting, whether it be sleeves or body, that's not going to take much long to finish, because I would like to get to wear it before it gets too warm. Though we've got cold snap at the moment, so that's not going to happen. And the final projects that the dice rolled for me was Sean's socks. So these are his Christmas socks, and they're actually my car knitting, but I have managed to do some on them. So when I spoke to you last time, I was where the little marker is here, and since then I've done the heel. I've turned the gusset and I'm now picking up I've actually finished picking up the gusset stitches, and I'm now just on to plain foot knitting. So again, this won't take long. This yarn is Regier, and it is their Perfect range, Hairfect range. And the idea from this is that is what it will look like when it's finished. The idea behind this is that you pull out this yellow strand until you get to the start of it, then you knit your sock. Once you've cast off you then pull it out again and you'll get a second yellow strand, and that is where you start your second sock, so that they match perfectly all the way down. And it does. This is about the third or fourth pair that I've knit using this method, and it really does match. And I really like these colours. These are very, to me, they're like very wintry colours, icicles, cold, blue. So that's going to be probably his Christmas socks, but he won't mind because he just likes socks. But he has asked me to knit him a couple of pairs of DK socks as well, just that little bit thicker. So that's mainly what I've been working on throughout the month rather, and those were the things that the dice chose for me. But I did also have a couple of other things that I finished off. So one of the projects that I had that was part of the 12 cast-ons for 2022 was a cowl. It was called the Trip and Vertal cowl, and that was my project number 12. And I have actually finished that one. So this is it here. So it's quite a good design. So if I just hold it up, so you wear it like this around your neck, and it's got a big fold down brim, she says. So if I fold that down, and then as you can see, it's got a V-neck, so that when you've got your coat underneath it, it comes and sits underneath your coat, and it really is quite, I won't put it on because it will just look weird, but it does sit nicely. You get a nice double rib around here, and then you get this whole part which is the cowl, and that's the back, so you like literally put it over your head like that. Bet you now YouTube is going to pick that as my thumbnail. You watch. So yeah, so that is the Trip and Vertal cowl, and it's really nice. And the yarn that I use for this is West Yorkshire Spinners, and it's in the Zandra Rhodes collection, and this one was called Woodland Awakens, and it's knitted up really lovely. There's a little bit of pooling, but I quite like that vertical stripe that you see down the front where the way it is gone with the ribbing. So yes, I'm very pleased with that, and it is lovely and warm when you wear it around and you wear it out. So that was the cowl that was part of my 12 cast-ons that I finished. I also knitted another cowl, and this is the Astra cowl, and this is the second one I've done of these. And I have had some rainbow coloured yarn that I'd got ages ago, and I didn't know what to do with it, and I thought, oh, I know what I'll do. So I've done this Astra cowl. So if I pull it, you'll see very much better. You've got the stripes of the rainbow going through, and then picking it up again. This is a pattern by Amber O'Brien, and I will link to my Ravelry page where I've got all my project notes on it. I just used a blue yarn that was in stash, didn't have a label on it, so I think it's probably a Starcraft or a paint box, maybe something like that, and this multicoloured one that I'd used, and it's DK, and it's really lovely, and it's just a slip stitch pattern, but I just like the way that it goes from one into the other and then back into the other one. So that was another finished object. Other things that I've also been working on, apart from my 12 cast-ons, is I've been doing some spinning, which is one of my 12 cast-ons, but it wasn't one that was chosen out of the dice roll. And when I spoke to you last time, I was doing the brown on my drop spindles. I've finished the brown bump, and I'm now doing this beautiful mixed bump, which I'm calling the kingfisher because it reminds me of kingfishers. I don't know why, maybe it's the blue and the orange together, but I see a kingfisher in it. And so far I've managed to do this bit. Now it marls a bit, so I don't think you're going to see the colours as beautifully. But I'm enjoying that, and I'm just doing 15 minutes a day, and it just keeps my hand in. So that's what I've been doing. The other project that I've been doing is, as well as doing the granny squares at the knitting club that I go to, we're also doing poppies. And this is to where the memorial is in the village, is near the church, and we're going to do a lovely cascade down the church of poppies on netting. I think you will have seen them on other pictures in Pinterest and stuff like that. So I've been doing knitted poppies. And this is just a pattern that was on Ravelry, and it's a really nice one, very easy. Like I say, you just put a button, or you can do the middle bit in black or something like that. And we're just going to do multiple poppies of different sizes that we can then tie to this netting, and it can cascade down the side of the church near the memorial, which I think is a lovely thing, and it will be lovely to look at. So that really is my update of what I've been up to. So what I will do now is I have rolled, before I started recording, I've rolled the dice to see what projects I'm going to work on during March, and I will insert a clip now, and then I will come back to you and tell you what ones I'm going to be working on. So, as you can see, the dice has kind of been kind to me this time around, but not as much. So, one of the numbers that I rolled was number 4, which is the charity hat. So I can continue with the charity hat that I'm already working on, and then I can cast on another one as well and keep that momentum going. The other thing that Clark pulled up was number 6, which is my spinning. Now it is not my drop spindle, it is my actual spinning wheel. And I didn't touch that at all in February, so that will be really good to get back into that and get that going. So that will give me a chance to do some spinning every day. Trying to do 15 minutes a day, every day if I can, just to keep the momentum up, just to keep the practice up. So I would aim to do it on the main spinning wheel, but if not, I will also incorporate some drop spinning, because that is more portable, that I can take with me and do wherever I might be. The other one that it pulled, as well as pulling number 6, it also pulled number 9, which is the owl mitts. Now those are the mitts that I mentioned last month that I haven't touched at all since I cast them on. I'm still in two minds as to whether or not to continue with them. I think I will see how I go this month. If I don't lean towards picking them up and I actively go and pick something else up to do instead of the mitts when it's in my mind, then I know that they are not for me and I will forget, and that will just be the end of it. But I'll see this month. The dice has rolled them, so I might give it a go, and if I enjoy doing it, then I'll carry on. If not, if I think, no, not for me, then they will go. And the final one that he rolled again was number 11, which is Shawn socks. So they will actually go on the back burner, because I have got a couple of custom orders from people who have asked me to knit socks for them. So where is it I'd normally be doing Shawn socks as number 11, I will actually decide, nope, this time around I'm going to work on those custom orders, because obviously paying customers, that's what you do, isn't it? So that is everything. So it's only a short one, but these are meant to be short really, just so that you can watch them during a quick break or whatever, just to keep you updated on what I've been doing each month. So if you stayed with me, I hope you've enjoyed a couple while you've been with me, and I look forward to catching up with you all again next month with March's progress. Take care, have a good month everyone, happy crafting, bye!